Hey everybody, I have been working with a bunch of different planners and organizers and systems trying to figure out how to keep my life on track. And it's still a work in progress, but I kind of wanted to share the journey and show you what I've been up to. This is especially relevant for those of you who do YouTube or blog. I'll sprinkle a little bit of the personal stuff in there, but it's mostly in theme with the last video I did on how I film YouTube videos. This is how I kind of keep track of all the stuff that goes along with the behind the scenes stuff of YouTubing. Okay, we are going to start with the monthly planner. This is the planner that I use to plan just YouTube blog, mostly YouTube stuff. This is, I believe, a Mead calendar. I just wanted a good size, just monthly view, and you'll see why. So this is, yes, it's a Mead calendar. It's not pretty, but it's functional, and sometimes that's all you really need. I started doing things in pen and soon realized that if I did that, it was going to bleed through to the other side. Then I started writing my video ideas on Post-it notes, but they were so big that I couldn't see, and this is the smallest square size they have. It was so big that I couldn't see the date, and that's kind of important. And I tried doing some washi tape that I'd had from decorating stuff for football to show when I was going to be out of town. But, I mean, I know when I'm going to be out of town. That's just kind of silly. So then this is, I have abandoned the pen idea, and I'm 100% on Post-it notes. And I have another giant Post-it where I was trying to keep track of favorites and video ideas and things like that. Then we get to where I finally figured things out. So here's my current plan on how I plan my YouTube videos. These aren't always filled in all the way in advance. You're going to see in a minute what March looks like for now. But generally speaking, I use labels, and I will talk about these in a minute. These are removable labels. So a few of these have been placed around all over, removed and pulled and put back. Because I think I'm going to put a video somewhere and then something else comes up and I move things around. I thought this was really easy for me to plan out my week, my month. There are videos I can film ahead of time. Some obviously I can't, like favorites videos. You kind of have to wait till the end of the month to have that happen. But a lot of these, you can film, if you're really organized, you could pop out a whole bunch of those and get them all in. And it's just nice to see the editorial calendar, as you will. You can pick them off. These are removable, and I can stick them, anywhere I want. So that was February. Let's take a look at March. And as you can see, I don't have the whole month planned out just yet, and I don't want it to be all planned out. I upload videos, content-related videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This month, obviously, vlogs are every single day. But you can see I have a lot of the month already planned, and I've actually filmed a few already, the ones that have tick marks on them. But things can be moved around because these are removable labels. So I have a trip to Miami planned. Ideally, this is when I want that video to go up, but these may flip around if I don't get back in time to edit. So that is kind of how I keep track of my YouTube stuff. And over here, you're going to see these are, I've decided if I have video ideas and I'm not sure where to put them yet, I'll just make the label for them. And then as I plan my life, I can stick those in there. Speaking of labels, I have two here. They're both by Avery, and I did not come up with this idea on my own. I never do. Almost everything comes from somebody else on YouTube. Isn't that how we all are? I got this idea from watching Jennifer Ross, who got this idea from watching somebody else, and it's basically to buy labels. These are Avery labels. They are removable. Two different sizes here. These started white. She did a video on how to run these through the printer to make them basically any color you want, and that's what I did here, and I've also done that with these. These are smaller labels that I made red, which you're going to see in my Erin Condren planner. But just, I love Avery labels, and I love that you can run these through the printer and make them different colors, or even have pre-printed things on here if you wanted to. So love those. This is a homemade sort of beta version of, it's in testing still, of a way for me to keep track of all the videos that I have planned or I'm in the middle of filming or what have you. So this was February's checklist, if you will. Some people do this in a spiral notebook. I came up with this. I added another column, so I'm going to have to work with this. I made this just on Excel, just a blank spreadsheet, and I couldn't even tell you how I did it. It's sort of trial and error is how I learned how to use Excel. But anyway, the idea is as I come up with video ideas, I write the name of the video here, and then this lets me know where I am in the process. So whether or not I filmed the video yet, and then have I uploaded it into my external hard drive, and have I finished editing it, and I do use Final Cut Pro. This is whether or not it's been uploaded. I don't know if all of you know this, but you can upload a video days, weeks, months in advance, and on the settings inside YouTube, decide well in advance when you want those videos to go live, as you will. So I've already actually filmed quite a few videos for March, and they're just sitting there waiting for the timer to go off, so to speak. They're ready to go. Then whether or not I've already done the thumbnail, which are those, you know, lovely little pictures of me holding up a product, smiling goofily at you in your subscription box. And then this is whether or not I've filled out the description box with all the links and descriptions of everything I've talked about in the video. I'm good at this side of the checklist. This side is still a work in progress. In a perfect world, I have written a blog post to go along with every single video. Good intentions here, but we'll see. Ideally, I would also like to post a link to each video as it goes live on Facebook. There are programs where you can preload those. This is about when I started traveling to do college visits, and you can see that's where things fell apart. I also ideally would like to upload everything to link everything onto my Pinterest boards, because I do have a few followers there. If you don't follow me on Pinterest, by the way, you should. And then I would like to at least take the thumbnails of all these videos and link them onto Instagram the day they go live as well, for those of you who follow me more on Instagram than on YouTube. So, you know, this is like a checklist / aspirational goals. We all need to have goals, right? So this is a work in progress. I am a work in progress. Now let's get into the personal and a little bit of work stuff as well. This is my Erin Condren planner, excuse the reflection. So this is very much a work in progress. I'm going to flip you to February, where I seem to have gotten my stuff together a little bit better than in the previous months. This is where I was using these little labels, these multi-use labels here on the monthly spread, just as another place for me to see where my videos are going. I've since stopped that practice because, as you see, I also put them in yet another place in the planner. I get that I get distracted and forget things, but that was overkill. So that's pretty much, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with the monthly, if anything. This is where you see the progression of my planning abilities. So first I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to draw lines and make individual boxes so I could have like one side be appointments, the middle box be a to-do list, and this box be like YouTube related stuff. Well, the problem is that I'd already written stuff ahead of time that didn't go in the box, you know, before I drew the line, so that got messy. I did try making these little red, I ran these guys through the printer and made them red for YouTube, get it? And that's where I was going to put the, again, what video went live that day, just to keep things in my head. And I may still keep doing that because, like I said, the more I get distracted easily, so the more places I can see something and it can register in my brain, the better. Then the next week, I stuck with those boxes, but then I didn't stick with my plan. Sometimes I put appointments on this side, then I put them on that side. I tried my hand at a couple stickers, but this is where I incorporated my new favorite thing, the to-do list. So this is an individual pad of paper. They are like Post-it notes. They have a sticky on the back. I got these at the Container Store, and it's a to-do list. And what I like about this is I can carry it through from week to week if I need to, or move it from one side to the other. So obviously, the bulk of things I need to do are going to get done during the week. This is more the weekend side of things. So for the most part, I can keep it over on this side. And then if I have to get into this side, I can just move it and stick it wherever I want. So that's what happened. That was the second part of my progression. And this is where things have continued to progress. I got rid of the boxes, and now I started adding, did I do it over there? Yeah, I started a little bit, but I started doing this for my meal planning and adding what we're having for dinner that night, along with the YouTube videos in here, and just kept the big boxes more for appointment type stuff over here. Here we are with the most recent completed week. You can see my progression in simplifying things is continuing. Like I've mentioned earlier, I'm easily distracted. I can't remember things. I probably have some form of ADD. That's not a joke. That's probably true. So for me, I have to do what works. And what works is not a lot of stickers and clean things so I can see it. I love stickers. I love watching planning videos, but my brain doesn't register it. So I have to do what works for my brain. So I kind of stayed with one color palette as far as ink goes. Moving forward, I'm going to just stick with ballpoint probably and blue or black ink just to make things easier. You can see I've really filled out the to-do list over here, and I'm still using the red stickers to let me know what stuff's going up for YouTube, and these boxes over here for dinner. And then moving into March, I've given up filling this out with the YouTube video stuff because I already have it in my other planner. I don't need to go crazy, and I have it in the days. Here we are at the beginning of the week. You can see I've moved to just blue ink now for the most part. I have my fresh new to-do list, which is brand new because it's the beginning of the week. I'm actually filming this right here. And it's pretty clean and simple. There are a couple of items that I use to keep my planner kind of clean and cluttered, and this is key. This is a paper kind of version of whiteout. So you just put your thumb here and you roll it across and you, like, let's do that. I think I always get this upside down because I'm left-handed, but yes, it's this way, and you just roll it across, and we make that all clean and pretty, and because it's not ink, it's not wet, you can immediately write all over it, because I have it down here where it's pretty. The other thing that I like using are these Post-it flags, because I'm learning to maybe not write everything down in ink, making it permanent. For instance, next week, oh my gosh, it's in a week, I'm going to Miami, and at the time when I was planning this, I wasn't sure what dates and times for sure that I was going. Now I do know, so I can go back and write this stuff in with my flight information and all that. Hopefully you guys will come to, actually there's going to be a meetup here, I believe. But anyway, so going forward, I think we're going to use these flags just to keep it a little less cluttered and no scribbles. So that is how I keep track of my personal life and throw in a little bit of YouTube world in there as well. So that's a look at how I am currently keeping track of all the stuff that I am up to. Obviously, I'm still working on keeping up with all of it, and some things fall by the wayside and some things don't. That's real life. I'm not going to beat myself up over it, but I hope that you found it helpful and that there's something in there that you can take away and use in your own life. And as an aside, if you like this look, this was the trial run that I wanted to try this morning. You voted on the palette you wanted me to use for the Get Ready With Me tutorial coming up later this week, and so far the palette I'm using is in the lead, so I tried a little run through. So if you like this look, you'll be seeing it on Friday, and if you don't like it, you're still going to be seeing it on Friday. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. Everything I've talked about, everything I'm wearing will be listed in the description box as well, so take a peek. And if you don't see it there, that's called a blonde moment, so be sure to ask me in the comments below and I will answer your questions. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. And I thought it would be a great idea if he expanded on those things and talked a little bit about how he chooses his wardrobe and how he puts stuff together, and the whole man wardrobe escapes me.